G'day guys, Fitcho here, and welcome to another What If F1 video. Now, so far I've done two of these, and they've both been based on things that could actually happen in real life, like F1 returning to Zandvoort and Imola. They've both been things that have been talked about, but today we're stepping aside from reality and things that could actually happen, and we're going to step into an alternate universe and ask the question, what if F1 raced at Baku in the 90s? Of course, Baku is a fairly new track to Formula 1, coming around in 2016, and is going to host its third Grand Prix this year in 2018. It's been a bit of a mixed bag. Its first race in 2016 was considered the worst race of the season, and its second race in 2017 was considered the best race of the season. It's sort of a bit of a strange track. There are two big overtaking opportunities at the end of the two big straights, and other than that, there isn't much in terms of overtaking opportunities. The racing isn't that great. You're just a massive slipstream fest, especially with DRS nowadays, down the two straights and into those heavy braking zones. But of course, in the 90s, no DRS, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. How OP is the slipstream going to be? How is the overtaking going to be without DRS? Here we go, we're on the grid here in Baku, the clutch is in, the revs are up, and just listen to that V12 as it was a very short Holden. It caught me out a little bit there with the lights as we now head down towards turn number one. Of course, a very short run down to the first corner here in Baku as we navigate our way through there. We're side by side with someone as we head down towards turn two, and we're forced up onto the curb, and that is not a nice curb to touch. That is rough on our right side. Did compromise our run a little bit. We've got the slipstream off Barnes as there are cars weaving all over the place as we head down towards turn three. They're going side by side in front of us. Can we sneak up the inside of Barnes into turn number four? Yes, we can, but can we actually make this move stick? A little bit of contact in the hand goes up, but the move is not done yet. He is still there on our inside, which becomes the outside, and we're going to squeeze him out as we have a big slide there getting onto the power. It's one of the things I do love about this car. It may not be quick sliding the car like that, but it is a hell of a lot of fun, and when you got as much power as you do under your right foot in this car with the V12 and the beautiful sound it makes, it is so much fun just to plant the throttle out of the corners and get those wheels spinning, the V12 singing. Is now, can we try a move on Belousov down here? No, we can't. This is not an overtaking opportunity at all. It's very hard to line it up because you're coming off that fast double left, and of course it's an off-camber corner, making it very tricky just going through there by yourself. But now through the final real corner, we plant the throttle, the taps are open through this kink. If you do get the line right through those two kinks, it can be flat, but I didn't on this lap. And now onto the pit straight, the taps are open, the V12 is absolutely screaming, and we get that move done, and we move ourselves up into the top 10 at the end of lap one as we head down towards turn number one. Hard on the brakes. The three drivers directly in front of us are really going at it. They're all going to the inside of the circuit as we head down towards turn number two. We want to go for a nice switchback line. We're going to get the move there on Izumi, possibly as he's boxed in behind Coppins, and we've got the run. Can we get both of them as we head down towards turn number three? And someone's going up our inside. We were almost four wide there, and we're actually going to lose out a bit. No, someone spun, and we've lost a bit of our front wing. Absolute chaos there at turn number four, and now we have a red front wing, and that's really going to fuck us up for the rest of this race. It is only lap number two, but we're going to soldier on, see if we can try to hold on to a points-paying position with this damage. I am not looking forward to this corner with this damage. This corner is annoying enough as it is in these cars because it's so ridiculously tight, and the curbs are so bloody annoying now. But with the damaged front wing, it gets even worse. But we do manage to survive, and these fast left-handers are not fun at all. Normally flat, and now I have to have a massive lift. Is now down to this tricky off-camber corner. It's going to be difficult to see if we can hold on to this points paying position. We've got another whole 3 laps to go, and like through these two kinks coming up, we're going to have massive lifts, and that's really going to compromise our run all the way down the pit straight, and that's just going to stuff us up so much to get very close to the wall there, pushing it to the absolute limits. But right now, we don't have to worry too much. There's no one directly behind us. We do have a little bit of breathing room. Oh, one thing I forgot is you've got so much less downforce on the front. It makes it so much easier to lock the brakes, and we have lost a lot of time there as now we've got Coppins right on our gearbox as we head down into turn number 2. I don't think we're going to be able to hold on to this position much longer as they are in the slipstream. He is pulling out up our inside as we head down to turn number 3, and we can't brake as late as we normally would or as hard as we normally would. We have to be so much more careful now without that extra downforce on the front, and Coppins gets that move done, and he is up into 9th place. We're now in the last points paying position. Can we hold on to this? Looking back, it doesn't fill me with confidence seeing that many cars directly behind us through this very tight sequence of corners. Having to use first gear there, believe it or not. Normally that's a second gear corner. Is now down to turn 7. A lot of understeer there, back on the power and up towards turn number 8. Careful through there, we survive yet again. Now the bit I am not looking forward to, the high speed stuff. As on the power we go. This is really going to hurt us through these two fast left-handers. We have to get out of the throttle quite a lot, even tap the brakes slightly. Is now down here. We're safe for now. Oh, that's a big lock up. Careful of the wall. We do just keep it out of the wall. Is now down to the last real corner on the brakes. A bit of a lock up yet again. Not a nice run through there, and this is the bit I am dreading with that many cars directly behind us. This is going to be tricky as we've got so much understeer through there. Holy crap. But they are so close under my rear wing. I think I slowed them up as well, and that might just give us a fighting chance. But here they come. Belousov in the slipstream, and someone else. We are 3 wide down the pit straight as someone else is coming to join the party as well. As onto the brakes we go. And we're not going to be able to do this. We have to be so darn careful without this front wing as they are all diving to the inside of the track as we head down towards turn number 2. We lock up on the curve. That's really going to hurt us. Can we try something though if we go up into rich revs down the straight towards turn number 3? I don't think we're going to be close enough to dive it up the inside, and we don't have the same braking performance as we have in the past. And I think the dream of points is over. That was a slightly big moment, to say the least. It's now up to this horrible part of the track in these conditions. I was looking back a little clip of the wall, but we do survive. Is now down to here. Oh, that's a big lock up, and that's our wheel gone. That's our race over, just like that. A small little mistake, just locking the brakes without much front downforce on the car, and we just go into the wall, because at that corner you can't save it at this point. Once you're sort of committed, you're committed, and that's the race over, I'd say. You can't really continue on 3 wheels in this game, which is a bit disappointing, so we didn't quite get points, I'd say, not finishing the race. Well, look on the bright side, at least we didn't come last, because that honour goes to Calabrese, who also did not finish the race. As a whole, that race was pretty shit, I thought. I'm not the biggest fan of the Baku circuit. You got 2 long straights where you got 90-degree corners at the end of both of them. Both heavy braking zones. They do present an opportunity to overtake, and you can sometimes get a bit of racing through the corners after, like sometimes you're still racing at turn 2 or turns 4 and 5. But other than that, the rest of the track is pretty much follow the leader until you get back on the straights. I'm not the biggest fan of the Baku circuit, and when you chuck a car like a 90s F1 car on it, a car that doesn't have as much downforce as the current F1 cars, it's really not that fun to drive. Like, turn 8 is a corner I usually quite like, because you can usually attack it somewhat, well, at least on the previous game. This is actually the first time I've driven this track on 2017, but on 2016, I did quite like turn 8, because it was a corner you could attack somewhat in F1 cars, but in this car, it just was not fun. like, because you don't have much downforce, it's so tight. It's like you're driving through, I don't know, like a city high-rise car park. It's not enjoyable, it's bloody stressful, and you can't even use the curb on the inside much, because that's just going to throw you into the outside wall. It was just frustrating to drive in many ways. At times the racing was good, a bit like old Monza sort of thing, because you get these massive slipstream fests, like down the pit straight and down the straight to turn 3, and there was some cool moments like going like almost 4 wide down there, but then of course it all turned to shit once we got to the actual corner. That was pretty cool, but the rest of the lap was just annoying, not much fun to drive. You got like that difficult off-camber corner, you got turn 8, which is stressful as hell, and then you have a bit of slipstreaming, and if you're a car in front, you got no chance of defending your position because the car's just going to blast past, even without DRS, and it's even worse nowadays with DRS. It's so ridiculous how easy it is to pass here. And, I don't know, it just wasn't that much fun, but I hope you guys did enjoy the video. There was some good racing at times, some interesting moments, and if you did enjoy it, make sure you do leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. I just said that twice. Also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, sort of what if F1 did this. I'll be looking at tracks they could go back to, or older cars driving at current new tracks, or lots of different mishaps. Current cars driving at old classic tracks, etc, etc. Lots of fun, different ideas, sort of time warps and whatnot. So make sure you do subscribe for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.